I'm much further away than all these people from London. I'm about 4 hours drive from London in a lovely little school in Harrogate. You might have heard of Harrogate. We do water and things like that. It's a really lovely place to live. We only have around 800 to 1,000 students on roll, but every single student does food, as with the other schools, all the way through from joining the school at 11. And we have a popular course at GCSE and at A-level. And we also teach students in catering, so students who want to be a chef or work in hotels, we teach that as well as teaching nutrition. The big thing about our school is that we want students to have respect. We want them to respect each other, to respect the staff, to respect their environment. We also want them to be responsible, so that they're responsible for their own education and how well they do, and to reflect on what they do, how well they've done, if they can do better. And the biggest one for us really is resilience. Never give up. It doesn't matter what you do, where you are, never give up. And that's our school, as I say. It's just, it looks quite little there. It's all one story. You're all quite high. We're one story, but over quite a large area. It's absolutely brilliant to be here, so thank you very much. And I will speak to you later about my area. I thought was quite interesting as well. In the 16th century, it was said that a village down on the south coast in Cornwall were really struggling with getting their catches, and all the people were worried. So a local fisherman went out into the really rough seas and brought back loads and loads of fish, and he baked it into a pie, and so that he could show people in his village that there was actually fish in it, he left the heads and tails sticking out. So traditionally, this is still done down on the south coast, the Stargazy pie. Okay. I mean, I teach up in Harrogate, which is in Yorkshire, and one of the most popular foods that we have, and it's taken all the way through the country, is a Yorkshire pudding. Yorkshire pudding is made from flour and milk and an egg. It's made into a batter, and then it's put in a really hot oven, and it puffs up. And it can be eaten with jam. In Yorkshire, they have Yorkshire pudding and jam. But more often, it's eaten with a Sunday dinner. So a Sunday dinner would be roast beef, roast pork, roast lamb, and then loads of gravy and roast potatoes, nice fresh vegetables. The other one, the picture here, is a toad in the hole. It's not a frog. It's not a frog toad. It's sausages. And so sausages are cooked inside the Yorkshire pudding batter, and it's really tasty. The next one here I put in is sausages again, because sausages, where I come from, up in the north of England, we eat lots of sausages. And so sausages can be had on a full English breakfast, which you can see all around the world, different kinds of full English breakfast with bacon, sausage, mushrooms, tomatoes, all of those fried foods for your breakfast. But also sausage and mash is very, very popular. Mash is just potatoes, which are made really nice and smooth. And another thing which some people aren't really, really fond of is this thing, the black pudding. Black pudding is made from pork blood and fat and bits of oats and things, and it's made into a traditional one is kind of like a hook shape, but we usually serve it in slices now, and it's got some nice spice to it, and it's quite often eaten with breakfast. We have it steamed up where I come from, near Bury, and also I love putting it in with a Scotch egg, and the Scotch egg is basically a boiled egg, and around the outside you put sausage meat, and I mix mine with black pudding, and then you roll it in breadcrumbs and you fry it. It's really yummy. Okay. And then I thought I'd show you a few British desserts as well. The first one, Eton mess. I'm sure you've all known meringues. Meringues made with just egg white and sugar, whipped up and then baked. But the Eton mess first was introduced between Eton and Harrow colleges in London, and so it's supposed to be quite posh. But all it is mashed up meringues with cream and strawberries. Really tasty, but very, very sweet. And then this one, the traditional English trifle. I'm sure you all know jelly, which you can have jelly and fruit. Well, with the trifle, we also put pieces of cake in the bottom, and then the fruit and the jelly. And when that's set, we put a layer of thick custard, and then we put cream on top, and quite often sprinkles, which are really nice. That's a very traditional British pudding. And then my favorite, apple pie. So apple pie and custard, or apple crumble and custard. And it's one of those foods that you can get the apples for free. There are loads of apple trees in England, so you just pick the apples from your gardens. But during after the Second World War, people were finding things quite difficult to afford butter and things like that, so they made a crumble instead. So instead of making the pastry to put the fruit inside, they made a smaller amount of a mixture, which is just flour and sugar and butter, and sprinkled it on top. And it's quicker to make, it's cheaper to make, and just as tasty. And as I say, that's my favourite one. But also any other fruits that we can get, loads of plums in our gardens, raspberries, strawberries, anything like that. You just put it in, make it into a pie or a crumble. Amazing. Okay, thank you.
And we've got